That's for sure. That works, right? That will do it. And let's see that work for this one as well. Okay. So now I'm gonna use EQ in this console.
And which frequencies are you working on there?
You see? So let me see, bypass it. I like it like that. So basically, I just cut like 1K, 2K, and a little bit of low mid, like 250. I cut it. Then am I gonna be using a little bit of distressor? Okay. I think sounds good. Let me get all this. So I sum the kick in and the kick out in one channel of the console. I EQ it and then I send it to a distressor. And what I will do next will be a snare. So how you can have you see the compressor? The snare is already compressed a little bit. So let me see. Okay, that's cool. So So we'll do the same thing, just clean it a little bit. And you know what? I will use this one. That worked for me. Then I always use a little bit of EQ, like low pass filter and high pass filter, before gating it. So that would be way easier for the gate to make it work. If it's not gonna be too much of the kick drum, getting bleed on the mic and all the stuff. So then I'm gonna use the gate on it. This one's gonna be the gate. Let me see. Same thing I will use for it. Okay. Fast attack, for sure. And then I will add a little bit of the range. You see? Bypass. Sounds good, right? Okay, then I will add the bottom mic. Same thing, I will do the same thing. Just clean it a little bit. And I have this one. I will do with this one. Okay. Okay. What I will normally do for mixing, because sometimes you get too much, not too much, but you have a little bit of hi-hat in the top, in the snare top. What I will do is just cut just a little bit, like a low pass filter in the snare top, so that way I can boost it back in the snare bottom, because I don't have too much bleed of the hi-hat though. So like that. And let me just copy and paste the same gate to see that work for this one. Let me see. More drastic. Okay. I mean, have a little bit of bleed, but it doesn't bother me at all. Okay, let me see. Maybe it's too much. Okay, let me EQ it. I will use the 550A EQ from the console that I have over here. Yeah, wait a minute. I have some problem with. I think it's a little bit too long, this one. What I will do. You know what? I kind of like the snare how it sounds by itself. I just add a little bit of like 7K, like 2 dB on 7K. There's one little thing that kind of annoying the snare. This one. That one. Okay, I think sounds good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oops. Let me get. Okay. Let me see something really quick. Okay, in this extra snare that I have over here is basically a duplicate of the main snare. So I just use it for triggers. But this snare sounds pretty good already, so I'm just using it for like around like what, like 20% of it, just to get like a constant hit in the snare. I mean, it's modern music, why not, right? So let's see. I use Thin Slate for this one. I have this one that I really like a lot. Let me see. Black Magic. Let's see. Kind of like that one. So let's tune it with the okay. So it's just not too much dynamic in that track because I'm just gonna be using it, barely using it. And of course out of phase, so I'm just gonna flip the phase over here. Okay, let me just fix this. Sounds really good. So then I will compress a little bit with the DBS. That's enough to do it. I'm gonna do a low pass filter in this one and the trigger. Have too much low end. I don't need too much low end the snare though. I don't want to sound like an 80 snare. sounds good to me. Let's just trigger the same thing. Let's trigger the kick. Like I said, the kick from this song really sounds good to me. But I'd just like to have like 20% of triggers in kick snare, just to get that in your face kind of drum sound though. Let's see, same thing, triggers and mono. I have one trigger that I like about it. It will be this one. Yeah, wait a minute. Let's use one of these, whatever. So I need to tune the trigger according to the one that we recorded. That works. So just make sure I don't have any extra thing getting the trigger on. Okay, what I will do is, my bad. What I will do is not too much dynamic. Let's EQ it a little bit. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see how the whole drum sounds for now. Okay. What sounds to you?
Yeah, they sound great.
I mean, what would you suggest to do?
Maybe a little too much low end in the kick. But I'm listening in headphones, so.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, you were right. let's just work with the toms. Uh, the tom the tom one sounds really good. The tom two is like okay, it need definitely some work. So let's use the EQ they have in the console. I'm using the Neve 55 one. I think it works perfect for toms. See how it sounds. Okay. I like it. Let's see the toms. I'm sorry if that sounds annoying, but that's how I basically that's how I cue the toms. Okay, that's the with the EQ on it. Without the EQ on it. Let me see. How's that for you?
That sounds good.
Yeah. So overheads, I do left, right, and always I do center overhead. But this overhead, I remember that I use already EQ, and I think I use the API compressor 2500 on it. So I think it sounds good. I wouldn't touch it. And from the center overhead, I think I use a ribbon mic. I use the Coles 4048, I think it's called. And I think I use an EQ and compress on it too. So let me see. See, no overhead. Okay. And rooms. Let's go to rooms. As like I said, I always use stuff in the way in. So basically, when I'm mixing, I don't need to do much stuff, just a little adjustment. And this sounds decent to me. That was recording our new room though, so it sounds really nice too. Check how it sounds. Okay, I noticed one thing. I might use I want to cut the highs because sometimes when he play the hi-hat, it just sticks out a little bit too much. So I will do this. I will do like, I don't need any over 12K in room mic for sure. That's just a waste of time if I want to use it. So let me see. Yeah. You see it? So now the hi-hat doesn't stick out like before. And actually the whole drum sound maintained the same. It didn't get any dark. It's just a ribbon mic. Just ribbon mic are kind of dark. And but when you play the hi-hat, like those like super high frequency, it captures it too much. Okay, and this is a closed room mic. I just set this one in front of the kick, kind of a little bit close to the how you call it, to the kick. So that's why it sounds like kind of like big a little bit. I think it sounds good. Yeah, sounds good to me. What I do is I normally add a snare trigger. How would you call this? A room mic snare trigger.
Yeah, just the room sound from the triggers. Yeah.
Yeah, just using the snare though, just give you depth. And I'm not a fan of adding, like sending reverb to the actual snare. I like to have just like boost. How could I just boost the room mic of the snare without adding reverb, just boosting the room mic sound, right? And what I will do is I will actually, let me just do this really quick. I will duplicate this one and I will just add, wait a minute, clear slot. Yes, I will just add this little trick that I do. And let me see where it is. Where you at? Where you at? No, this one. Kick snare. My bad. The famous dong. I take this one, but what I do is, let me just send it. Yeah, wait a minute. Let me just send it to the room mics. So this one is going to loop charter 910. So what I will do in this case is I don't want to have the attack. So basically I just go right here and just move the attack. Yeah, what I mean is it's too low. So when you play with the snare, without there's a lot of people that like to muffle the snare too much, like when recording, like putting too much tape and moon gel, stuff like that. And what you're doing mostly just taking the depth out of the snare. So maybe it sounds a little bit too much right now. But when you play with the whole mix, with the bass, guitar, and all the stuff, that thing blends really well and you don't notice it that much as you think it will. perfect. Just let's just okay. Yeah, the drums. I have a decent drum sound right now. Like I said, I didn't use too much plugin. If you see, just low pass filter, high pass filter, a little bit of gate on it, a couple of triggers, barely using it. I will do right now. Well, I mean, after I process the whole drums, I will play the drum with triggers and I will play the drum without trigger, and you will see like just it's barely adding the trigger, but just give you just that little punch that is kind of fun to hear sometimes in music. So what I will do right now, I just have the whole drum zoomed in the loop trotter. I'm gonna send it to the API 2500 to compress a little bit, and let's see how it sounds though. It sounds great. I mean, that's my favorite compressor so far, big time.
Yeah, that really brings the drums to life. Gives them a little snap too.
Yeah, I mean, I like to use when I compress drums. I normally do a slow attack and a little bit fast release, not too fast, but a little bit, so I give you that pumping kind of vibe. And then in the mix insert, that I'm in the mix bus compressor, I will set the attack not too slow, so that little pumping just dim it a little bit with the mix bus compressor. So just give you a balance of everything though. So right now I have the drums. Okay, the thin drum sounds great. Actually, I have the API EQ right next to it, but dude, I think it sounds pretty good right now. What do you think, Angel?
Yeah, I think it sounds
Would
great.
you add?
I mean, we'll see how it sits when we get the bass guitar in there and the guitars. If we need to make any EQ adjustments, it'll be.
And also, I remember I do. That's what I did with drums. Zoom everything to the loop trotter, then going to the 2500 compressor, then going to the API EQ and 5500, and then I went back to the loop trotter monster compressor to slam it a little bit to give you some little bit saturation, the tube saturation option they give you, and to kind of like roll all the mix knob all the way to like 10 or 20. So you're just slam the whole drum and like smash it to make it more depth. And you're just with the mix knob, you're barely doing like a parallel compressor, right? And but in this case, I don't know. I think sounds great. I will just wait to how everything plays together, and then I will just decide if I would like to add any EQ or any extra compression in the drums though. So what I will do, I'll just move on to bass. So bass is number 7. Okay, I'm gonna mute the drums. This bass was recording with the Kemper and my Fender P bass from the 71, 73, something like that. I think it sounds pretty good the way it is. I don't know if you can see in the screen, it's already compressed. I didn't compress it though. I just used distortion in the Kemper, and what it does, distortion just compress the sound. So what I will do is I will just add just a tap of compression in the bass, and I will run it to the Warm Audio Pultec EQ, maybe to add some maybe like 2K, 3K. Let's see how it sounds. So let me just enable the compressor. Okay, what I did is I just set a slow attack, so it give you that like clipping, picking kind of bass sound. Because if you do like fast attack, what it's just gonna do, it's just gonna squash the bass, and you don't want to squash the bass because the bass is all squashed right now, kinda. Um, Let me see how it feels with the drums. Oh, I listen some kind of clip stuff right here. Let me see. Yeah, let's just fix this. We don't want that at all.
You recorded it in with a little bit of dirty signal, right? You put a little dirt on it when you recorded it?
Yes, I mean, I use the Kemper. And what the Kemper is, I don't know if some people are not familiar with it. It's just like an amp simulator that you have like thousands of like guitar profiles that people have made, and also the same factory made it. And and there's people that they try like doing more experiment with it, and they came out with like bass pack for Kemper. I mean, Kemper is supposed to be made for guitars, though. You know what I mean? But I mean, if it's guitar, why it cannot be bass, right? So I found this preset from a friend of mine that he sent it to me, and it sounds really good. I just EQ a little bit and add some extra stuff on it. It sounds. I mean, it's just blending the mix so well. Okay, I'm gonna add the mix bus compressor just to give you more vibe. I think it sounds good. I wouldn't add any Q. I mean, what do you think, Kane? Would you
No,
add?
I don't think so. I think it's got enough high end to poke through the mix and still be present. Again, we'll see how it sounds when we get the guitars in, if it needs to poke out a little more, but right now it sounds great.
Okay, let's just do the guitars. Guitars, we use the same guitar. I think we use the Gibson Custom Les Paul, and we run it to the Marshall JCM 800 with the Friedman pedal, and also we double the rhythm guitar in the Orange amp, Rockerverb 100, right?
Right.
So let's see how.
And
the
you're
guitar
running
sounds.
an EQ on this?
I mean, it's already patched. We patch all this to the Electrodyne EQ. I don't know if you can see in the graphic.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like I said, let's just see, because I record everything to try to not have too much hard time mixing it. So I was kind of picky with all the EQ and stuff like that. What I will do is, for sure, in the guitar is I a high pass filter because there's no way to get a high pass filter in amp, right? And I record with the Roger, the 121, that might pick a lot of like low end. I use how you call this, the Shure SM57 and Roger 121 for guitars. That's the Roger. That is 57. That with the Marshall. I think it's a little bit too much, 57. Yeah, I kind of like it like that.
Yeah, so really if you get two mics with different characters, you can use those to EQ it when you're mixing.
Exactly, yeah. I use, for example, that the 57 is my high-end, like high mid EQ, and the 121 is I call it like the mid.
The balls.
The balls.
Yeah.
Mid balls. One thing I was kind of like, when I was recording this track, I wish I would record this part with the orange amp with less gain. Something that mistake people does. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not as tight as the Marshall one, because if you see the Marshall here, a lot of gain, and then when it comes to the choking part, tight, and the orange is a little bit too. I mean, whatever. Let me see. Okay, always when you mix, don't just use your ear. Just use your eyes, because sometimes you feel that everything's good, sounds good to you, but in the meter, it's just saying something different. It's more guitar on the left side and the right side. Just that's something that you need to keep in mind all the time. Not just mixing with your ear, use your eyes too. That's good. One thing I will do as well on guitars, in like rock guitars, will be I want to do this first. I think I never use more than like, that will do it, 99. I used to like cut a lot of low end in like every single instruments, because sometimes in the mix bus I like to add low end, you know what I mean, in general. So what happens if you have just a super nice low end in the bass, but then the drum you need more low end, you feel it needs more low end, and then when you add in your plugins or whatever, in your hardware, whatever you're using, when you boost the low end, that's where things start to getting cloudy, right? So you need to always have a balance to not adding too much frequency in instruments, if you would end up adding more stuff in the mix bus. That sounds good to me. Okay, there's one frequency that's kind of a little bit annoying for me. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do it, but I have to do it. Okay, for this part, let's see the orange how it sounds. Sometimes when you record guitars, you boost a lot of the low end, right? And to get like that, like ballsy, you know what I mean, kind of like heavy guitar sound. But what happened is when you start doing palm muted, all the low end got kind of crazy a little bit, right? So I mean, I didn't use too much low end in this recording, but normally what I would do in that case, just add a multiband compressor, just to calm down all those palm muting stuff. So I just add the C4, super classic. I don't gonna use this. I don't gonna use this. I don't gonna use this. I might use just this and the low band. I would say from 15, whatever it says right here, all the way to 242, right? I'm gonna yeah, wait, that's too much. I like to have a fast attack. Okay, let's see. Let me see this. You see, it's barely not touching it when you're playing like open chords. Just when you're doing all the palm muted is where it starts compressing all those frequency that makes your. Sometimes you say, oh, why my mix sounds good, but in this part it's all cloudy and muddy and all the stuff. Voila, this is one of the reasons why the mix is having that problem though. Okay, what I will do, I'm gonna use the Electro Dynamic EQ just to, maybe I will add like 2 dBs in like 250 or 100, something like that. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, let's see how it sounds with. So this is gonna be drums, rhythm guitar, and bass. Okay. How's that sound for you, Kane? Sounds good.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, you could hear all the instruments perfectly. They all have their space.
That's what it does. All the like I will repeat this 100 times. Use low pass filter and high pass filter, please. That helps a lot.
Yep, yep. When frequencies start stacking in the same range over and over and over on all tracks, that's when you get that mud that you can't figure out where it's coming from. It's coming from all of them together.
Yep, exactly. So let's see what I have over here. I feel like the kick is a little bit too clicky though. I might just do this because I know that I mean that's like
What frequency is that?
100%. I use the Clariphonic on my printing, like final step of this of the mixing session. So I know when I boost all the high end, that click is gonna sticks out. So I will try to keep everything flat and you know what's good to do? I don't know if you can. Could you help me out with the camera, Kane?
Yeah, yeah.
I use this Better Maker. I mean, I use it for mastering. I don't think we're gonna have time for mastering today, but I use it a lot for mixing for the RTA menu. They give you the option. Let me see if you can do that. I think you need to lower it from the top. Like I said, don't just use your don't just use your ears. Use your eyes too. Yeah, let me see. Let me figure this out really quick. Sorry. Okay, you see how all the low end. I'm gonna mute the kick, and you will see how everything changed. So I maybe have a little bit too much of 45 hertz in the kick. So I'm gonna go down with that. Like I said, in the I'm gonna be adding low end a little bit in the final step of the mix, the whole mix bus. So I don't want to over EQ frequencies that already have high enough. Okay, I'm gonna mute the drums and I'm gonna play the bass and guitar. I'm gonna mute the bass. So you see right here the bass go. It's like 125. I might just lower 125, just a tap in the bass, just a little bit. Let me just go back to this. Let me find 125 right there. Uh, 135. I will do like 2.5. Yeah, it sounds good. So I use this all the time. Everything that I have a doubt about something, like, oh, dude, should I be adding too much of this, whatever? Just go right there and make sure I'm doing the right thing. You can actually use, if you're doing all digital in the box, you can use a plugin like a frequency analyzer, whatever, and solo stuff. You know what I mean? Mute the drum and see all the frequency in your guitars, in your bass, in your vocals. because there's a lot of stuff that you don't hear it right away, but it's over there. Okay, so we're all good with that. I'm gonna move out with extra guitars. So what I have in extra guitar is just like harmonies, like octave. I have an Evo that I add in the verse, cool stuff. Let's see what's up. And actually I remember I recorded rhythm guitar with the amplifier, and I actually duplicate guitars with the Kemper, but like over distorted guitar, like super heavy distorted guitar. So it give you a little bit more aggressiveness, would you call it, whatever, to the song. Let's see how it sounds. But when you have a lot of distortion, it's a lot of low end that you don't need it. Yeah, wait a minute. You see, let me just bypass it and you will see. Oh, my mix doesn't have too much dynamic. How do you do? Just this, low pass and high pass. That's simple. There's one frequency that's kind of bothering me too. Let me see. It's a high one. This one. So 45. I think it's what? 45. Just got 45 in both. Okay. That's an Evo. And I think I record all of this with the Kemper. When I record like effects, you know what I mean, like stuff like that, like ambient stuff in the guitar, I mostly use the Kemper, because it's just gonna be stuff in the background. It's not gonna be like right there. I prefer amplifier, real amp, for rhythm guitar, you know what I mean, more in the front guitars, and for extra stuff, I like to use the Kemper as a tool. Okay, I'm just gonna pan it, hard pan it. This, already do the cut in this one. When I was recording this guitar, I didn't record with any low end, so it sounds pretty like mid, all like mid frequency, and there's not any high frequency on it. So that's why it sticks out in the mix, and it doesn't get any like squash with the cymbal, because it's a picky kind of stuff. Sometimes when you record picky stuff in the guitar, it just gives you that extra high end that you play with their pick, and just makes everything squashy. Cool. What happened? You add the bass. Then you add the guitar. What happened? Okay, we're getting that part. Let me see this part. Okay, I'm adding the extra guitars and this one and this one. So those are the amps, real amps. Kemper. You see, the volume is not the same. It's kind of low. Actually, I will do it. I will lower it right here. I don't want to have too much of this. Just gonna barely have it. Yeah, that's good. Let me see. Okay, that's all good. This part, I also do this. So what I will do is some like kind of like dramatic guitar because the hook is about to explode. So I just play one chord going all the way, like changing the pitch, like going all the way down. Let me see. You see, and this one I did this one. So basically an octave of what I did in the previous track. Okay. Right here. I think I might need to open a new track because I record this. No, this in the same track as this one. You see, like this too much. It have a little bit too much high end. That is cool. I like it. That's one of the reasons I pick it. But I might need to adjust a little bit. So what I will do, just open a new track. I thought I had all this already done. So will be this one, and this one. Same thing, 3 and 4. I know that's it. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I think you know what I might have the cable switch in the with the EQ because I'm panning left and it just go right in the opposite. But I mean, it doesn't matter to me for now. So I'm just trying to pick placement from each part. I'm doing octave, like this one. So it's pan for one side, and I doubling. But in the second part, what I did, just go harmonizing it. So wherever I'm harmonized, I'm gonna pan this guitar that I have over here to the opposite side, so you can see what's going on. It's not gonna be everything all in one side, so it's gonna be too much information. That's why spacing and selecting where the track should go in the panning side will be important for mixing and separation. Just I think I will boost this much in this guitar. Okay, let's just add all the guitar. Okay, let's just more of this. Okay, let me see. Yeah, my bad. We don't want that. Okay, let's see how everything sounds. Okay. Sounds pretty good to me. There's one thing that I noticed though. It might be in the. Yeah, wait a minute. Let me just do this real quick. Yep, there's one cable that I switch, but I switch in the insert came. So that will take us a little bit, like 1 minute, to figure out what cable is switched from the left to right. I don't know. You know what? Let's do this. That's gonna be the easiest way. Let's just do this. That's it. Let me see. Let me see right now. Okay, now we're talking. So what happened was I just have in the insert, I have a lot of stuff going in the insert. I didn't explain it yet, but I will have a lot of stuff in the insert. And I think one of the cable was inverted, so that's why I was getting left. When I panning left, it was just going right and vice versa. So what I just did is switch the cables in the way back to the return, and it fixed it.
You can see all the cables we're using here.
Yeah, I mean,
Things can get a bit
lot of mess. So.
confusing sometimes.
So people say analog gear is cool, but check this out. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I mean it's kind of cool, but not this part though. And if some cable get all like loose or whatever, you will have a problem that you will be ended on spending like 30 minutes figuring out what to do, and muting and solo and pressing all the buttons in the console, and it's just one damn cable in the whatever in the whatever we'll say overhead left. You will never expect it though. But well, let's go back to this. So music actually pretty sounds pretty decent though. And like I said, I'm just doing it right now, all like balancing left and right stuff. And let me see what else. What I should. Okay, cool. I think I will need to add more of the heavy distortion guitar in this part. This one. Because I feel like the chorus is super like powerful. Like see? And then when it changed to this, I think sounds cool. Okay, after the second verse, what I did in the second verse, I just do low pass filter, high pass filter, aggressive the guitar. So it sounds like this. It's cool. Just give you like an intro that something's gonna happen. Okay, and I add this guitar as well. This track over here, this track over here just have a low frequency that I don't even need it, and it's over there. And I know when I like use and when I master all this track and compress this track, it's gonna give me a headache. Look how cool it sounds with everything. Remember, I always pan guitar. Sometimes like hard panning, sometimes not too hard, but like pretty hard. I would say like between 80 something to 100, depend what I want. Because there's a lot of information in the mid section though. You have the vocals on it, you have the kick, you have the snare, you have the bass, you have extra stuff, a little bit of room mics, maybe in the middle a little bit. So you want to separate things, right? Okay, this guitar at the end. How you call this? Arpeggio? Arpeggio?
Yeah, arpeggio.
Yeah, damn. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm learning English still.
Day 2.
So that's what I did in the end. I think it will sounds good. Only thing is, actually, if you seen the screen, I did in the beginning some other arpeggios or whatever you call it. But like it's gonna clash a little bit too much with the vocals though. And I was discussing with Kane, and he told me, you know what, just mirror the stuff. I mean, sometimes less is more. You know,
Yep, yep.
when we're talking about like producing stuff, and also you need to keep in mind that there's a vocals on it. This if there wasn't any vocals in this part, I mean, we haven't put the vocals yet in this mix. If it wasn't vocal in this part, I will put this right in the middle, right? Like just like replacing the vocals, kinda, right? Because it's just giving some cool stuff that it can be a lead in the song. But there's gonna be vocals in this part, so what I will do is I'm just gonna pan it to. I don't wanna do hard panning. I'm just gonna do it like maybe like 76%. The thing is, it's not two guitars though. It's just one guitar that use the 57 and the 121. So that's why it's double. If you can see right there, I cheat a little bit with the edition stuff. I mean, I play guitar, but I'm not like a really good guitar player. I mean, if you give me 1 hour, maybe I will do it. But sometimes you don't have 1 hour to do something, right? So let's see how that theme blends with all the stuff. Cool, I like it. So what I will do the same thing. I don't need low end on this. Oops. This. Cool. Okay, so we're basically done with the guitar. Let me see what it is over here. Oh,
I forgot all about that.
yeah, I did this already. Cool. So I basically chopped the guitar. Remember the dramatic stuff that I did before? I just make it more dramatic, I guess. Right? So it will be like this. Damn, dude, drum sounds so good. Holy crap. Actually, a friend of mine recorded drums. Chino. It's really good though. Okay, I noticed something though. Let me see. Okay, I did one mistake, stupid mistake. I always forget sometimes when you record drums, edit the drum first, lined out the drums perfect, so when you record the other instrument, it will be all lined up. What I did is just record the drums. I stupid grab the guitar, record the guitar, and then when I was editing the drum, I feel the drum was a little bit too behind or rushing. So now I need to mix to fix the whole instruments because I didn't do it from the very beginning. It's not much, just those 2 tracks. Let me see. You see, you need to be to the grid. No. Nope. Okay. Let's see here. See? that's it. So yeah, I think we finished with all the instrumentals, and let's just add the vocals in it. Vocals right here.
You should know it now that he's never into you. He made you believe that maybe he could love you too. I thought by now I'd be completely over him.
Okay, vocals. I record with my Uptune 251. I use a little bit of EQ on it. I use compression on it, the 1176 from Universal Audio, just a tap. What I did, I already tuned the vocals on it, I print it, and
You should know it now. You should know it now that he's never into you.
so what I do is I just record basically the whole song an octave low and the regular pitch. And in the octave low, I use these effects. I use it a lot of my mixes. Just give you personality, a lot of personality of when I'm mixing vocals in attitude.
You should know it now that he's never been to you.
I use a hard tuning on it. Like I said, I hard high pass filter, low pass filter a lot. And it sounds kind of weird when I play by itself, but it sounds cool when I play with the main vocal.
You should know it now that he's never into you.
And then I add the Bricasti M7 reverb that I have. I just, in the console, I just send an aux to that reverb.
You should know it now that he's never into you.
So what problem I'm having right now? I'm compressing already the vocals with the retro compressor. This one over there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see it. Yeah, with that one, I'm compressing the vocals on it. Actually, I'm using the retro compressor 1176, 176, and the Stam Audio LA2A compressor. So I have like actually an optical compressor too. So, but what's going on right here?
You should.
You see how much low end I'm getting it? And that's something that you don't really need. And also, this is going to be vocals though. So vocals going to be up in the front of the mix. So if you don't do this, I'm sorry, but your mix is going to suck. You just need to, I think you won't need less than 100 hertz in the vocals.
Yeah. Right.
You should know.
Actually,
You should know it. You should know it.
I think 189 sounds good.
You should.
If you get over
You see too much.
if you get over 200, you start taking away the chest of the vocals, the body of it.
Yes.
So just under 200.
In this case, it's gonna be the tits because she's a female.
Right, right.
You should know it now that he's never into you.
Okay, dude, I love that reverb. That's the plate. It's called vocal plate from Bricasti. We'll have a fun, right? Just to show you how it works.
You should.
Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me play.
You should know it now that he's never into you.
Vocal sounds great already. Like I say, I'm already compressing the vocals with the retro and with the Stam Audio. So let me see how it fits in the mix.
You should know it now that he's never into you. He made you believe that maybe he could love you too. I thought by now I'd be completely over him. Believe the stories in your head, he lies again. Wake up! Just wake up! The tears I cry falling from my eyes, can't live another day with his mask on.
how cool it sounds?
You should know it.
I don't know why, but I always like reverb with long decay and a little bit of delay, so it's not overlapping the vocal. So vocals in your face, and you have a little tail in the end. I think maybe it's a little bit too much delay, but we'll figure it out later. What I'm gonna do right now is play a little bit more with the vocals. Okay, what I did. Could you put the screen on it? What I did is I just sent a bus to an aux. I open an aux, put a bus, send it, and the aux right here. I will type it this vocal effects. Call effects. So what I did over here, what I do is roll off a high pass filter, like a lot. I would say A54. It says slam compress it like hard. I use a chorus though, and I use distortion on it. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna be like parallel compressing, I think it's called, with the vocals. And the chorus just give you that cool, it's like cool attitude in the track. And but the thing that you need to be careful with is the low frequency on when you're adding chorus. It just start getting like out of phase issue stuff. So you don't want that. You just want to have like the breathing and all the whispering kind of stuff, all the feeling. So that's why I do the high pass filter heavy on this one. So let me see how it will sound. I wanna mute everything but vocals in this. Let me see.
Know it now that he's never into you.
No reverb.
He made you believe that maybe he could love you too.
So that's distortion.
Know it now that he's never into.
Maybe a little bit more.
Know it now that he's never into you. Know it now that he's never into you. Know it now that he's never into you.
See how cool it is?
He made you believe.
I mean, it sounds weird, but when you play with the...
Know it now that he's never into you. He made you believe that maybe he could love you too. I thought by now I'd be completely. Tears I cry, falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care.
Okay. So let's see how it sounds. Everything. I'm not doing any doubles or harmonies yet. I'm gonna just keep it muted.
Know it now that he's never into you. He made you believe that maybe he could love you too. I thought by now I'd be completely over him. Believe the stories in your head, he'll laugh again. Wake up! Just wake up! The tears I cry, falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't
What do you think, Kane?
I think it sounds good. Maybe a little more reverb on it.
Yes, right. No, the thing is, I haven't put the doubles yet and the
okay.
harmonies. So,
Yep.
so that's what it sounds a little bit empty in the hook.
Mm-hmm.
But and also there's some little tricks that I do during mixing, mostly like mixing pop. I wouldn't say pop, but more like songs that vocals need to be on front of everything. So I would call it pop because I don't do it with metal or
Right.
even like hardcore stuff. I just do it with like melodic stuff. But I'm gonna explain later what I do. Let's just bring the harmonies, right? Okay, what I will do is it's already. Let me see if I do this. Nope. Let me see. No, I'm gonna send all this to a bus. Let's do B5 6. Oops, my bad. I'm gonna open stereo and aux. That's it. So what it was B5 and 6. Oh, I need to rewrite all this. Ah, gosh. So okay, then 17, 18. That might be 9, 10. Okay, gotcha. So basically,
Tears I cry, falling from my eyes, can't live.
okay, that's cool. That's the doubles and harmonies. I just group it and put it all together. Same thing. I don't need low end on this. Actually, I will cut more. I will cut like this.
Tears I cry, falling from my eyes, can't live.
And I will use plugin on this case. Because we run out of cable in the patch bay.
Time to get more cables.
Okay, let's just. Actually, I used to play with this one before. You know what? Important thing that I didn't do: save session though. Save session is important to do sometimes. Okay, let's move on. Steven Slade. Good stuff. Let's just be quick and open one of vocals. Let's see what we have over here. Let's do some pop vocals to see how it sounds.
Tears I cry, falling from my eyes, can't live. Another day with a mask on. You can act like you really don't care.
Autotune sounds cool sometimes. Like I said, the vocals is a little bit tuned hard, but when everything blends, it sounds really good though. Actually, I thought I would be need a de-esser for vocals, but
Falling from my eyes, can't live. Another day with a mask on. Is it that?
okay.
What is it? What is it?
I mean, I will add it. Why not? But I will add the de-esser before compressing the vocals. Even though I'm gonna be battling with all the, I'm gonna put all the vocals muddy if I do it before after compressor though. So I use the this one. This one's nice.
What is it that you want? Where? What is it?
Yeah, it's
I
my
mean,
favorite too.
Yeah, in this case, I normally use two de-essers though for vocals, but I mean I'm listening right now and it sounds good with one. I normally I don't know you, but I normally de-ess
More of a notch one.
the ch
Yeah.
the ch. When people say China
Mhm.
or Chinatown, you know what I mean? That's kind of
Very popular phrase in some.
I think that's kind of like 4 or 5K.
Yep.
That's the ch sound. So sometimes that's kind of be annoying. So what I do is I just compress that frequency with a open Q from like I will say like 3.8 to 5K. Compress that frequency and then compress from like 11 to 16
Yep.
from the S for the
For
S.
the hard S's.
So remember always, if you have problem with vocals, it might not be the S, it might be the ch. That's gonna be another frequency. It's not gonna be the same range of frequency that the normal S will be.
Not there.
Okay, let's just play all together though. I want to put the fader down and I will put it back up. Oops.
Not there. The tears I cry falling from my eyes. Can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like
Oh, dude, I did the I shouldn't put the I in now. So let me just mute this.
you can act like
Okay, I'm going to mute the extra effect that put in the vocals and the main vocals.
don't care.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. Let me see.
You can act like you really don't care.
Okay, let's just add this.
You can act like you really don't.
Okay, let me just solo all the stuff.
You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there.
Reverb.
You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there.
Let's play all together.
You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You won't forget me because it hits me like you played me. And you won't take me to the place that you forsake me. 'Cause you're never gonna break me. You can act like you really don't care. You wake up.
Okay, I think it sounds good, right?
Yeah, great.
I was just messing a little bit with the compression of the snare.
With this mask on, you can act like you really don't care. With this mask on, you can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. With this mask on, you can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You won't forget me because it hits me.
I like it. I like it. So let's just move out with the. Just move on with the us. Let's group it. And let's group it. Yeah. It's all right. I don't know why I forget this. I just did it right now. It's all right. I don't want to like. I don't want to do everything right. If I press Shift and Alt, right?
Maybe.
Oh, dude, I don't know why I just got blind. Like, you know what? I want to do one.
Command Shift or Control Shift?
Whatever. I want to do one by one. I just did it, dude. I just like barely did it.
Yeah, but now you're scared.
Yeah, because sometimes you press wrong button and then you send everything to one
Yeah.
aux and hell no, though. We're almost done with this. We have mixing this song for 1 hour and 50 minutes. I will think like 20 more minutes will be all done.
Yeah.
So we
Finish
basic,
up the master bus.
so we basically mix in 2 hours and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, if everything is all edited and tuned in how it should be, right? Okay. Alex.
Hey Gus, we got a question here.
Yo.
Says, do you do the auto tune on vocals just to get perfect what's already an almost perfect vocal, or do you leave them alone? Do you always use auto tune?
I normally send to others engineering to get the vocal tune.
And you do it with all your tracks?
Yes, I just send it because I mean
Even if
I
it's
I,
in
I used
your-
to I used to have a Melodyne
Yeah.
long time ago, and it's a lot of work though.
Yeah, we use Revoice too, but the answer is yes. So even if they're a near perfect vocal,
I know, of course,
you're still
of
gonna
course,
still
of course,
gonna
of
run
course.
it through the tuner and still
I mean,
tighten
well,
it up a
I
little
mean,
bit.
it just depends of the song. If it's like pop,
Right.
like this, it's kind of like rock, pop rock. You need to be perfect though. You know what I mean?
Right.
If it's more like grunge, you don't need like Nirvana. How are you gonna
Right.
make vocal sounds perfect if he already sounded like almost perfect? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And that little auto tune stuff sounds cool too. Like if you see my drums right now, it's not perfect lined up like in the grid.
And especially when you're doubling and tripling like the harmonies and stuff, it's important that those are all together when you're panning them left and right. You don't want one to be off tune a little bit and the other
Yeah,
one,
exactly,
and it sounds
exactly.
weird.
That's why makes glue together. You know, when everything is right there, well done, mix it. There's no compression, there's no limiter, there's no EQ that makes the glue together. It's just yourself, basically. So if vocal is one vocal is tuned and the other one's not tuned, it's not gonna glue together.
Right.
It's gonna be a little like
Same thing if a guitar's
resonance.
off. If you do a double guitar and it's slightly off, it's gonna sound weird.
Actually, I heard a story about CC Top doing it
Yeah.
back in the 70s, but
And it
that's
worked.
another stuff. That's another topic. Fuck it. I'm gonna send this to. Dude, now I got lost. Okay, I think it's 9, 10, right? No, 11, 12. Okay, let's go with the ah. For example, this ah is way out of tune. And it's not playing because I haven't selected yet. I mean, it's a little bit out of tune, but it doesn't bother me because there's gonna be barely low in the mix though. So I'm gonna just use the same thing, and actually I'm gonna use a chorus effects on it. So even though if it's too perfect, it's gonna have the little shaky stuff. And I'll do the same thing. Same thing, vocals. I'll do. Where you at? Where you went? Yeah. And normally I print every time that I use autotune or whatever, Melodyne or whatever I use for tuning vocals, I normally print it. You know what I mean? But I think I forgot to do it with this one. So let's just do it right on the spot. Let's just add some cool stuff. Okay, let's see.
Day with his mask on. You can act like you day with his mask on. You can act like you really don't care.
Sounds cool, right? You see, it blends together. But what I'm gonna do is, because there's a lot of information already in the track, I might pan this one a little bit to the left, just a little bit.
You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there.
And I will send it to the reverb.
You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You play the game so well, but he always won the score. No matter how much you got, he was always wanting more. I should know by now that this will never end. Go wipe that tear from your eye, you got what you paid for. Wake up, just wake up. The tears I cry falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it?
Okay, sounds cool to me. One last thing I will do for this mix to make it like perfect. I mean, in my opinion, it may not sound perfect for a lot of people. Will be side change, vocals with harmonies and doubles, side change, vocal with the whole mix, just to make the vocal more present without increasing the volume. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense, but yeah, wait a minute. Is it? Could you check this out again? Okay. Let's see. Vocals right here. Okay, so let's just do the side change, the vocal with the other with the main vocals with the doubles and harmonies, stuff like that. So how I do that in this, I will call this doubles and harmony. So I'm gonna send a mono aux to the main vocals, that is this one. I want to send it to the main vocal and the low vocal harmony as well. But let's just work with the main vocals. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna open a compressor on it. I like to use the R compressor because this one is just the cleanest compressor I found. Just it's not giving you any color or whatever, just giving you the compression. That's all I need for this type of occasion that I'm gonna do right now. So let's see how it works. So let me see. I say B7. Okay. B7. So what I will do is it's just gonna compress main vocals every time the doubles are hitting in the same time. You know what I mean? I will do this. Wait a minute. I want to mute all this. I don't need anything of this. I don't need this, and I don't need this.
Gone. You can act gone. You can act gone. You can act like gone. Gone. You can
Okay, let me see.
cry. Falling from my eyes. Can't live another day with this mask on.
You see? Kane?
Cry. Falling from my eyes. Can't live another day with cry. Falling from my eyes. Can't live.
You see, when I bypass it, the main vocal, it just get on front.
Right.
It doesn't sound like mix.
Tears I cry, falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on.
Yeah, blends
You
them
can
together.
act like you
one's
really
not
don't
stampeding
care.
over the
You
other.
wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch?
That's what it makes the track help a little bit gluing. Let's just play the whole thing and see how it works. Because you want to have
Believe the stories in your head.
too much reverb.
Believe the stories in your head. He'll have again.
So vocals in your face. And then
The tears I cry, falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care.
you see when the doubles are hitting the mix, the main vocal get back up just a little bit, so it sounds all tight, right? So it's not like just the main vocals and extra vocals, so it's just overpowering the whole mix.
I thought by now
So when the verse,
I thought by
there's
now
nothing going on in the
I'd
compressor though,
really
because it's side change, so there's no harmony, there's nothing singing right here, so it's not hitting the compressor, so that's why it sounds in your face vocal. That's how I want you to sound.
I thought by now I'd be
But when you hit all the harmonies,
tears I cry, falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me.
okay,
And now that he's never into you.
okay. Another thing that I do is main vocals. I send another aux to the. You know what? I forgot to copy this to this. Let me see.
Falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake
Okay, cool. Rhythm guitar. I open. Well, have you see? I use this plugin a lot, but this time I'm just gonna use it as a side change frequency though. So let me see. I send it to B8.
So yeah, this plugin has the ability to do EQing and multi-band compression. So that's how you're gonna use it, right?
Exactly.
As a multi-band compressor to carve out some space for the vocals.
So what I will do is vocal range. I will say is between 500 to 4K. That's the most important frequency range for vocals, right? So what I'm gonna do is every time the vocal is hitting in the mix, is singing, the guitar just scoop a little bit of those frequencies so the vocal can stick out a little bit more than normal without raising the volume. You don't wanna listen nothing weird going on in the guitar because I don't do it drastic. Just I would say like a 1 dB scoop in that range of frequency every time the vocals hits, so it will glue the whole track. Let me see how the thing works. Fast attack. And then I will do external. Yeah, what I mean, let me just mute all this. No, I wanna mute everything but the guitar. You see, this is the vocals that's just singing. I just have it mute. Oh, if I unmute it,
falling from my eyes, can't live.
so you see, I'm sending a signal to the compressor, so it's telling me, okay, every time the vocal is going over there, you're gonna react. So what it's gonna react, I'm just gonna compress those frequencies though. And I don't need to do anything with the game. That's gonna be like too much. I don't want to do that, of course. So okay, so that's nice. You see, you can barely hear it, but just doing something important for the mix. Okay, let's play the whole thing.
Falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me.
Okay, I don't do it much for lead guitars because lead guitar is supposed to be on front with the vocals too, like harmony stuff like that. Octave, I don't do it much. I just do it for the rhythm guitar. And let's just take a listen from the very beginning though.
You should know it now that he's never into you. He made you believe that maybe he could love you too. I thought by now I'd be completely over him. Believe the stories in your head he laughed again. Wake up, just wake up. The tears I cried falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You play the game so well, but he always won the score. No matter how much you got, he was always wanting more. I should know by now that this will never end. So wipe that tear from your eye, you got what you paid for. Wake up, just wake up. The tears I cried falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You won't forget me because it hits me like you played me. And you won't take me to the place that you forsake me. 'Cause you're never gonna break me. Wake up, just wake up. The tears I cried falling from my eyes, can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me.
How's it sound to you, Kane?
It's great. Sounds really good. I think
Oh.
it's all starting to fit together.
Yeah, the end. There's not the fun part yet. The fun part yet will be right now when we add some color, right? Yeah, I call it color. Fusion. Actually, call it fusion.
Mojo.
Yes. So what I noticed in the Better Maker, the RTA, what I'm using right now, I'm not limiting anything. I'm just using it for like cedar frequency. I just see that I don't have too much information in the high frequency.
I should know by now that this. I should know by now that this. Wake up! The tears I cry falling from my eyes. Can't live another day when this mask on. You can't act like.
You see, there's a gap over there. There's like empty from 7. So what I will do is, I will Clariphonics. That's what it does. Check this out. Check this out.
Wake up! The tears I cry falling from my eyes. Can't live another day when this mask on. You can't act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You won't forget me because it hit me. Like you played me, and you won't take me to the place that you forsake me. 'Cause you're never gonna break me. Wake up! The tears I cry falling from my eyes. Can't live another day with this mask on. You can't act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You won't forget me because it hit me. Like you played me, and you won't take me to the place that you forsake me. 'Cause you're never gonna break me.
Okay, I see. I noticed something too in the vocals though. Let me see. Vocals. Where you vocals? Okay.
Wake up, you're gonna miss me.
Okay, it's too much of 900 in the vocals. Um,
Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You won't forget me because it hit me.
okay, let's see how it sounds with the Clariphonic in and out.
You can't act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You won't forget me because it hit me. Like you played me, and you won't take me to the place that you forsake me. 'Cause you're never gonna break me.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, it brightens up the whole mix.
You know what? Let's just have fun with the fusion a little bit. What about that?
Let's do it.
My eyes can't live another day with this mask on. You can't act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You won't forget me because it hit me. Like you played me,
What do you think, Aim?
It's nice. The fusion really tightens up the low end.
You should know it now that he's never into you. He made you
So-
believe that maybe he could love you too. I thought by now I'd be completely over him. Believe the stories in your head, he'll have again. Wake up, just wake up. The tears I cried falling from my eyes can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You play the game so well, but he always won the score. No matter how much you got, he was always wanting more. I should know by now that this will never end. So wipe that tear from your eye, you got what you paid for. Wake up, just wake up. The tears I cried falling from my
Okay. There's one part that the bass.
over. You should know it. He made you believe. I thought by now I'd be completely over him. Believe the stories in your head. He'll have.
Okay.
I thought by now I'd be completely over him. Believe the stories in your head. He'll have again. I thought by now I'd be completely over him. Believe the story.
Okay. That's cool.
I thought by now I'd be completely over him. Believe the stories in your head. He'll have again. Wake up, just wake up. The tears I cried falling from my eyes can't live another day with this mask on. You can act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits.
This part I will animate a little bit the bass.
Touch, wanna touch, and then it hits me. Wanna touch, and then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me.
Cool. We'll do
Touch, and then it
this part too.
touch, and then it hits me. Touch, and then it hits me. Wake
This part.
touch, and then touch, and then it hits.
Check the bass. The bass is super fun. This part.
You wanna touch, and then it hits me.
I forgot about it.
That you want when you wanna touch, and then it hits me.
Cool.
That you want when you wanna touch, and then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me.
Okay. I think that was it, right? I think
Yeah.
I will print this.
Yeah, that's a
It's
wrap.
ready to go to mastering. Hopefully I'm not gonna get any recall stuff like that because it sucks when you mix with all this and then tomorrow I wanna start mixing another song and moving cables and then there's one part that she said or he said just tweak the vocals a little bit more in the very end and then you need to put everything
Patch
together how it was
everything back in,
before.
yep.
That's the only part that sucks about analog gear, though. So basically, what I did in the mix is I just used plugins to clean the whole track, and like carving a lot of frequencies, stuff like that, and with the analog stuff, I just push frequencies and compression on it. So, like I said, I don't use too many plugins, just barely, like one or two. I think the most I used was like 3 plugins, different plugins in one track, and that's it. And just like picking position of guitars, panning stuff, drums, where the tom should be. I don't like to pan the toms all the way to the left and all the way to the right because it sounds a little bit weird when you listen with headphones. So I just do like 70% one side, 70% the other side, overheads, 100%. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
You should know it now that he's never into you. He
Yeah,
made
that's
you
the whole mix.
believe that maybe he could love you too. I thought by now I'd be completely over him. Believe the stories in your head, he lies again. Wake up, just wake up. The tears I cry, falling from my eyes, can't live another day with his mask on. You can't act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is up, you're gonna miss me. You play the game so well, but he always won the score. No matter how much you got, he was always wanting more. I should know by now that this will never end. But wipe that tear from your eye, you got what you paid for. Wake up, just wake up. The tears I cry, falling from my eyes, can't live another day with his mask on. You can't act like you really don't care. You wake up and I'm not there. What is it that you want when you want to touch? And then it hits me. Wake up, you're gonna miss me. You won't forget me.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. This was our first live stream, so feel free to comment, tell us what we could do better, or what you'd like to see us do in the future. We'll do more of these videos.
I mean, obviously the sound quality that you guys gonna get is not gonna be the best because it's just live streaming. You know what I mean? We're not recording this and fixing it and put the video on YouTube after 3 days. You know what I mean? That's just right on the spot. So everything is wireless. You know what I mean? So obviously it's not gonna sound like crystal clean how I would love to sound like. But I think it's good to like involve people with the community, with all the artist stuff, like see the workflow that we use for recording in the studio and stuff like that. So if you have any comment, whatever, just let us know, and we might be doing this more often, right? At least like once every week, once every 2 weeks.
Yep. And if you got tracks that you'd like to see us mix, feel free to contact us. Go to our website at redlionrecordingstudio.com or shoot us a message on Facebook, Instagram, any of that, and let us know what you're working on, and maybe we'll mix it here live.
All right, man. Peace.
Take care,
See you.
guys.